welcome you into, and thank you so much for joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker, Jeremy Baker, and Chaz Price. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. Once again, it's 419-794-3030, online, arhq.com. My name is Chris Swan. Today on the show, is 2024 the year we see interest rates head back down? Why we recommend that you test your portfolio to make sure it's diversified, and the twists and turns that could ruin the plot of your retirement. All this and more. But first, let me check in with the guys. Happy New Year to you guys. How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, it's been a great holiday season. We had a lot of fun. It was nice having the kids home. It's hard to believe how quick it went, and they're, heading back to college and then back to high school. But had an enjoyable time. Of course, in my house, lots of hockey, and even coming up on Sunday night, we have our next All-Star event. I'm really looking forward to it. So over at the Stranahan, we're doing an event for our clients and going to the ABBA tribute band, so it should be fantastic. I think I'm going to dance the night away and have a lot of fun. And
did you pull your bell bottoms out?
I will. I have them out, and I've got the groovy glasses. It should be great. So I'm looking forward to having an incredible start to 2024. And then on Monday is a great day as well. So January 8th, a pretty famous day. I don't know if you guys know what January 8th is.
Birthday.
Yeah, it's not only Elvis Presley's birthday, but it's also my birthday. So looking forward to January 8th as well.
Certainly, the celebration's continuing, and happy early birthday to you, Nolan. Want to thank you guys for joining us and spending time with the listeners as we get ready. Maybe this is the year they plan on retiring, or they really made their resolution to get serious about their retirement. So let's go ahead and dive into it, give them a little bit of that insight. Money, definitely on the minds of Americans, judging from the top searches on Google and other search engines in 2023. Number one on the list was the American dream, not Dusty Rhodes, which includes concerns over saving for retirement. We don't need Google to tell us that people are worried about how they're going to retire, but at what point in people's lives should they stop Googling and reach out to you guys?
I love going on the internet and using Google to start some research. And in fact, I'm super biased in the fact that a lot of our results will come up on Google when you're looking for retirement advice. In fact, we try to give advice on this show for predominantly people that are close to or transitioning or in the beginning years of their retirement time frame. So if you haven't got a chance, and while you're on Google, I would encourage you to type in America's Retirement Headquarters. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You subscribe to our podcast. And that's another way to stay in the know. But the other time I kind of smile a little bit, and it's never a good idea to pick on your wife, but if I pick on her, sometimes she'll Google the health symptoms, whether it's my kid taking a hard hit in hockey or it's maybe an illness in the family. She goes into Google, what should she do about a health symptom? And I'm always like, oh my gosh, here we go.
What else are we going to find, right?
Here we go. So, my kid could get hit in hockey, and it's, of course, take him to the emergency room right away. And I know by walking in the ER, you're going to get $1,000 bill. Or if you Google some healthcare symptom, next thing you know, you're dying. Yep. So I do think that it's a good idea for people to Google information, but there definitely becomes a point where talking with a professional about their retirement can be crucial. And, for me personally, I'd say I break it down in a couple different ways. The first thing that I would say is early adult or starting your career. And I guess, I say that as a father. If I look back and I say, what could I have told myself 25 years ago? I think about the advice that I got from Dad and the things that I heard at the top of the staircase. And, saving and investing in the market was an incredible lesson I got from my parents. So, I tried to teach them that early on and teach my kids that. And I think if you're a listener, if you have adult children or grandchildren, starting them early on and setting financial goals, creating a budget, understanding saving for the future, building good, solid credit, and exploring investment options such as retirement accounts or 401ks or emergency funds can be good, sound advice. And then, I could say there's never a bad time, but we flash forward to America's Retirement Headquarters. What we have done is we've been helping people that are in that time frame that they're approaching retirement. So within 5 years of retirement time, the decisions that you make now can be absolutely crucial. I can think of a couple clients that just recently came in, Matt and Lori. And, Matt and Lori have, let's just say, 5 years until retirement time. And I'm so glad that they came in because one of their goals is they want to retire before the age 65. And as we know, if they have to get health insurance before the age 65, the majority of Americans will go online to the healthcare.gov website and they'll buy health insurance through the Affordable Healthcare. Well, that's an income, not an asset test. So by Matt and Lori coming in and starting the conversation, we were able to start talking about shifting and directing money towards non-countable income sources to fund those early years of retirement. So their health insurance actually could be a lot more affordable by doing that ahead of time. And, if they would have came in right at retirement time, our options maybe would have been less for that. So approaching retirement, close to retirement, and also looking at, when you have life changes or unexpected events are the advice that I talk about when it's a good idea to not just Google it, but either, pick up the phone or sit down and talk with a professional. Yeah. What do you guys think? When's a good time to talk with a professional?
Well, I think that's a good point that you bring up is that how many times would you say we've lived our 60s and our 70s as financial advisors, or how many iterations have we, went through when we talk to people about their goals and what they're going through and some of the challenges that they face? As a financial advisor, having hundreds of clients, 500 in your case, Nolan, I know, or more, you've lived your 70s 500 times, in 60s 500 times. And so that way we know what to expect in a certain aspect of retirement. And so I don't think there's ever a really a bad time to talk to a financial advisor for that reason alone, is because we can help give you perspective. We can help you see into the future almost. And so to help you avoid a lot of those big, issues and that people tend to run into, you call them pitfalls. And also I think it does have to do with the major life events. Anytime there's something major that happens to you, marriage, unfortunately divorce, kids, graduation, college, things like that, it's a good time to reevaluate your situation. Maybe some cases you're getting a raise. In other cases, we need to find some cash somewhere else to shore up some insolvency there. And then the last thing I would just mention is if, it comes down to lack of experience or complexity in your financial situation, similar to, we were joking around, what, sort of medical advice can you really get online? I mean, yeah, does it say that maybe you need to have something done, but are you going to go out and start cutting on yourself? Probably not. So a certain level of expertise and complexity that goes into it. It doesn't hurt to Google and kind of give you some ideas and come up with some questions maybe to ask your financial advisor. But if you don't have the experience and the know-how, you're really just enough to be dangerous. There's a reason for that saying, is because you can really hurt yourself.
Well, right. When we look at it, though, I'd say on top of that, if you look at, the internet, you look at Google, I mean, we've got so many great things that technology helps with artificial intelligence. It's pretty neat. Some of those tools and resources, you using those to Google to improve your portfolios, to improve your odds of success, can dramatically help you. But again, just like I was joking earlier, if you Google a healthcare symptom, almost every time it feels like you're going to die, right? Yeah. Something immediate, imminent, it is bad. The same is true when you look at it, when you Google, different financial terms. Articles are driven based upon fear and greed, and those articles lead you to make short-term decisions. I can't tell you how many articles people have sent to me over the years and said, hey, can you watch this 45-minute video that talks about the global collapse of the U.S. currency? Or can you read this article that talks about how I should invest all of my money this way? And give me their opinion. And I always say, well, just skip to the end and tell me what they're selling, because that'll oftentimes tell you what's on there. The good thing about sitting down with the professional is, just like the results of looking at medical things aren't always deadly, when you sit down with a professional, you get a second set of eyes, a human being that can be a sounding board and can actually show you, well, if you did this and you switched that and made a little bit of changes here, it's actually not as bad as what you thought.
Yeah, and it's not just any professional, it's the right professional. You want to have someone like that knows Social Security in and out.
Yeah,
Or,
true.
You know, and making sure that you've vetted the advisors before you take anybody, because I think there's 800,000 advisors out there. That term is kind of used synonymously across a lot of different aspects of our business, and so making sure like what you're describing, fiduciaries, making sure that we are not necessarily there to sell you something, but we're there to prove to you why this decision makes sense.
Yeah, you could get buried in reading research on the internet too. I mean, if you Google any term, there's thousands of articles, and there's, everybody's got an opinion about, what's going to happen as well. But again, once you find a trusted professional that you understand the methodology and the philosophy that they use, that's going to help kind of get you through. And that could be a good point where if you feel like you're not getting the answers you're looking for on Google or on the internet, that's time to, pick up the phone and give us a call. Well, what do you think, Jeremy? When's the time to sit down and talk with a professional?
I think, I love Google. I think Google's a great tool. But I know for myself, I've been in the last month to the eye doctor. I need to follow up with my cardiologist. I've been to the gastrointestinal doctor. And sure, I could Google the symptoms, but much like in our profession, we can take a look at, the blood work, for lack of a better term, getting behind the scenes. You can Google stuff, but you can't. I could have probably went out and bought myself a pair of glasses and maybe saw a little bit better, but why not work with a professional that's his job each and every day, and get the right prescription and get the right medication that enables me to get, my long-term goal is to be here long-term. So same thing with finances is to, you don't want your money to run out on you. So why not have a professional, like Nolan mentioned, a second set of eyes, just to kind of guide you through that process?
And Jeremy, you hit on two important things there. When you're listing the doctors that you've seen as of recently, you listed 3 different specialists, because it is one thing you can go to your general practitioner for your checkups, but gastrointestinal is a different game. Your eye doctor is a different. You're not going to go to your dentist to take a look at your eyes, right?
Sure.
And so you want to make sure, when it comes time to perhaps a different phase of your life, like retirement, seeking out the advice of people who specialize in it, like it's right there in the name, America's Retirement Headquarters, the Retirement Guys formula. And we all Google things. It is human nature, but also knowing, what is out of your depth. I can look at things online all day and night when it comes to home repair, but if it gets to electrical things, digging into the walls and stuff like that, nope. I close that. I call a professional. There are minor things that I can take care of, but knowing that, and when it comes to your finances, maybe that's something that you want to go ahead and defer to professionals like the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, 419-794-3030. That's how you get started. Or you can go to the website, schedule a time, always available day and night, arhq.com.